last 40 minutes has just been, a trailer to the real question that I want to answer today. And that is, should Haas follow suit and replace Gunther Steiner?
Yeah,
And
I know,
I have
I know.
very strong feelings about that. Like, and there's two reasons. So, well, not two reasons, but I'll explain why I think this way. I'll explain why I think this way. As a team owner, I don't think there's been another team owner in F1 who's been so far removed, who owns multiple teams. Like Zach Brown, who owns multiple teams, is very close, right? Ferrari is an automotive organization, so technically there's no team owner per se. We can't think of them like that. Again, Mercedes is run and sort of owned by Toto Wolff. A third of it is owned by Toto Wolff, and he's very close to the action. Now, Peter Sauber, who owns Sauber, technically was not close to the action, but Fred Vasseur was, I think, CEO and team principal basically for Sauber. And now Gene Haas is a team. He's got he's in NASCAR, he's here, he's there, and he's got an F1 team. But there's just been this like lack of presence and a lack of ambition from the team. And that bothers me so much for some reason. Like, they are in F1 and they're just in F1, it seems to be in F1. And like they started off really well, right? When they came to F1, and there was a glimpse of hope even towards the end of like 2019 or the start of 2019 with Gunther Steiner, and the model that they came in with was questioned by everybody, but it showed that you could get success early on, but that you could hit the ceiling of that success very easily if you didn't do things right. And the way Gunther Steiner has gone on to operate the team has been less of, oh, let's go try to win and take the competition as a very small privateer team to the big leagues, and it's been more, let's just try to survive in the sport. And I think that has led to a lot of bad decisions, including the sponsorship deals he's made, the drivers he's brought in, and that sort of thing, and the technical team, even the technical team that maybe he's put together. So I just don't think he's the guy you would put in charge if you haven't had success for six years, 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Almost?
7 years completed. Yeah.
7 years. Why isn't there talk of like Gunther Steiner getting replaced? Like, what are Gene Haas's ambitions with Formula One? And I feel like that answer has eluded everyone in the paddock
absolutely.
for quite some time
I think
now.
the reason that talk about Gunther Steiner is in your question, that what are his ambitions?
Gene Haas's ambitions.
There seem to be no ambition. There's always, we'll do better next year. Like, it's the only ambition they seem to have. There's no what Aston Martin did. Their ambition was what Aston Martin did. Their ambition was clearly way beyond their means. But they at least had an
yeah, but they're working towards it, right? They they're putting a new factory up. They'll have a new
target on the
by
board,
2024.
right? And they said we will be a championship contending in so many years. And Gene Haas is not, as you said, he's not active. He's not out of the 23 odd races, whatever. He seems to be only on ground on only 2 or 3 races, as far as I can remember. So again, that's a very strange way to own a team. Like, I know you are US based and it's not very easy to come over every weekend, but at least Zach Brown is everywhere. Absolutely.
Look at Zach Brown. Zach Brown is, if he's not at an F1 race, he's at an IndyCar race. If he's not at an IndyCar race, he's at a Extreme E race. If he's not at Extreme E, now he's going to be at Formula E. And wherever
he is, Zach Brown is managing the team.
Yeah,
that's true. So again, it's very questionable of Gene Haas, but at the same time, who wants to be Haas's team principal? Like, any engineer in Formula One, any potential team principal in Formula One will look at Haas and be like, dude, there's no ambition. There's no scope, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, talking to Gene Haas. I mean, I see the point you're making. Sorry, I tried to enter. But here's the thing, right? It's about, which is why I also put Gene Haas into the equation, right? I didn't just talk about Gunther Steiner. Like, I didn't isolate him and talk just about him. So it's clearly that duo is not. Okay, what is the business case here for Haas? Because to me now it just seems like they're just willing to burn money and they have enough extra money left over that they can burn it with the cost cap. Because it's not like they have huge sponsorships with, MoneyGram came in this year, but that was about it. So it really begs the question, okay, what is the goal? And if you remember, said that they approached Haas to buy off the team or get a stake or whatever, and Gene Haas said the team was not for sale. So
Not for sale, yeah.
it's like he's just occupying a spot on the grid and not doing anything with it. And I feel as far as your question regarding like who would want to come in and work, I think if someone given like from what we can see, right, it seems that Gunther Steiner has basically ownership type control over the F1 operation for Haas
Yep.
because of Gene Haas's
Yep.
absence. Now I'm not sure, like behind the scenes, financial decisions and maybe some high level recruiting decisions are made.
He's still answerable. He's still answerable. He's still answerable to Gene, but he has a much higher control than any other team principal as such.
Exactly, over the team. So why wouldn't someone, given that much amount of free reign over a team over an extended period of time, not want to come in and make an impact, right? So if someone like, let's say, Josh Capito wanted to make an impact in F1 and he was given so much free reign to do, or someone like Matteo Binotto, let's say, who's been a little bit more successful in F1. So if instead of the way Ferrari operates, if Ferrari gave Matteo Binotto the same thing, right? That, hey, like, free control over F1, just don't put it in the bin, don't make us lose money, and the operation is yours, basically. Why wouldn't he want like that and operate it and just create that ambition from himself? So you can, while we're not talking about them separately, you can also talk about both those people separately and ask them, okay, why are they in F1? Why is Gunther Steiner in F1 if he's just trying to stay afloat?
Yeah. Maybe we should start that rumor, Matteo Binotto to Haas.
But I think it's a very important question from a sporting perspective, because if you have a team in F1 who does not want to compete at the highest level, it just questions their existence almost. Because like even with Williams, right, even though they've been at the back of the grid for quite some time now, you never question their want of or motivation or ambition, right? They want it.
Even if you remove the name part of it, the heritage part of it, they are still ambitious and they're trying to work towards it. They are trying to get in good people.
And I feel Haas's in ambition is also shown in the recruitments they're making going forward. Like Nico Hülkenberg, we talked about this earlier. It's a very ambitious recruitment. It's just like we are a lower midfield team and we want to continue being a lower midfield team.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult place to be, and I'm not sure how the rest of the paddock feels about having Haas on the grid.
Yeah, it's a very strange place, and it's not like Haas have a, even if Gene Haas wanted to, like, he doesn't want to, but we are talking about it. Gunther Steiner does not have someone in Haas to sort of replace him for the leadership position, right? Because at McLaren, Andrea Stella take the team principal role, and everyone knows he is a very successful engineer. He's a very successful and respected member of the paddock, right? There's no one sort of like that at Haas. So even, I guess, Gunther Steiner's place is sort of cushioned in a way. But yeah, it's not about Gunther Steiner, but it is about Haas and what they want the team. Yeah.
Like if you were to ask, what does Haas represent? Like you could talk about Mercedes. Okay, what does Mercedes represent? And in today's day and age, you could say, complete and utter technical and business dominance in F1.
Yeah.
You could talk about Red Bull and it could be like the best privateer team taking it to the big leagues, right? Talk about Ferrari and it's a historical powerhouse. And from a leadership perspective, we have often asked what Ferrari wants, but we know the sentiment of the team is to win. They want to win, and it is pretty clear with what they have done over the years. They've come close multiple times. McLaren, Zach Brown has made it clear with his marketing that they are trying to get there as much as possible with the way he's turned things around since the Honda days.
Yeah, sorry. I'll just add it. Zach Brown did an interview with Tom Clarkson, and McLaren posted it a couple of days ago. They want to be the biggest racing team in the entire world.
Yeah.
So that's a clear ambition. Like
exactly.
They are not limiting themselves to Formula 1 or whatever. They want to be the biggest racing team in the entire world. That's a clear-cut ambition.
Yeah, and Alpine set a target regarding F1. Aston Martin set a target regarding F1. Who else? Sauber again. It's one of those teams where it's somewhat like Haas again in my opinion.
Yeah.
But now they have a much clearer objective, having since they are working with Audi now. Similarly, Williams, right? When Dollarton Capital came in, it was about keeping that Williams name and taking them back to the glory days and try to win that champ again. Where and with AlphaTauri is in a weird place. They are a B team, and
Yeah.
that is what they are. But their purpose is basically to create be a test bed for Red Bull, sort of, and also create the next driving talent for Red Bull.
Even that is a purpose,
Yeah, and Haas was supposed to sort of serve that purpose with the technical partner, but clearly that is not the case at all. So it really begs the question: okay, what is Haas doing, and where do they stand in this Formula One circus? Like, if there had to be a slogan for Haas, what would it be?
Yeah, all right, kids, that's your homework.
So I mean, yeah, it's just very confusing to me, and you never hear of like people without ambition working in motorsport almost. Like, if
Yeah.
someone's working in motorsport, they're there to win, is what you always hear from them. And this is a weird one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even in the long term, there's no want to win sort of ambition.
Yeah.